Ooh, it's Thursday. It is day cuatro. I don't really know Spanish, but for some reason, when I have said the names of the days of this masterclass, it has wanted to come out in Spanish. We're on day 4 of Mainstream Fame Masterclass. We have a goodie today. A really, really goodie. So far, we have talked about a lot of things. And I'm so impressed that this group grows every night. So if you have been here for all of the days so far, I would love for you to give yourself applause in the comments, like the clap emoji, because if you have seen it all, you are right up to laser speed. If you're brand spanking new, you can jump in today. And also, the guide section inside of this group has everything in order that we have talked about so far. And it is so good. It is so good. See, the word masterclass is a buzzword in the industry. The first masterclass that I ever attended was in 2014. So since then, the word masterclass has been used and used and used and used. And it's become this kind of it's an okay thing. The masterclass vibe for some entrepreneurs, not this one, not the high vibe ladies that I hang out with, but for some entrepreneurs, the masterclass vibe has become this thing where you sign up for a free experience and then they tell their life story and then they pitch you some stuff at the end and you're like, I will never get that hour of my life back. It's either that feeling or you can come into a masterclass and get your socks blown off and be like, how is this free? And my intention, if we remember yesterday, we talked a lot about intentionality. My intention with the Mainstream Fame Masterclass this week was that whether it was someone who's been in my world for years and years and years, a family member, a long-term loyal client, because we have a lot of them, a current client, a current friend, or someone who just discovered me this week because a friend said, you have to see this. No matter who it is, I just wanted it to feel like, how is this free? I wanted it to feel like, wow, if someone thought that they knew me before, I hope that they feel like they have only scratched the surface and that they never want to miss another masterclass for the rest of their lives. And if it's someone who's brand new, that they find home. And they're like, this is my girl and I don't want to miss anymore. How is this free? So if you're brand new, I want to say welcome. Check out the guide section. You can totally hang with us today and go back and watch day 1, day 2, day 3, because they are legit. Yes, I love it. So before we get into today, I want to tell you what's going to happen with this group because it is growing every night. We crossed, I think, 300 people last night, which is so crazy. And it's such an honor, and it means the absolute world to me that you guys are sharing about this experience and you are posting. We have a graphic inside this group that is the graphic for the masterclass. And people obviously posted because they wanted in the prize draw, but now people are just adding themselves nightly and asking if their friends can come. And it just means so much to me. So a couple things that you should know about this group. We have all of today, we have all of tomorrow, and then we will leave the replays up over the weekend. Monday, this group shuts. So we will completely shut the group. The replays are going to be remastered and reposted in different places that are part of paid programs. So the intention of this masterclass is that We recorded it with a live audience because I like hanging out with people. Like I prefer to hang out with people if I'm going to record. So you guys are here on a complimentary basis this week, and I'm loving it. I love having you here. It means so much. And also at the end of the weekend, Monday, we're going to clear the group out and this becomes a paid program. So a little hint for those of you who have already gotten your Elite Turbo Glam package, this replay is going in there too. I'm like, this vibe has to be part of Elite Turbo Glam. So if you know about Elite Turbo Glam, the replay of this is going in Elite Turbo Glam. You're welcome. Let me know if you're excited about that, if you're in that group. So that's the first thing. This whole group is going to get cleared out on Monday, so you have the weekend to just soak it in. And I think weekends are a really delicious, amazing time to listen to these types of conversations, to tap into the feminine energy and to tap into luxury and worthiness and artistry. I think it's a really juicy time. So we'll leave it up for the weekend. The second thing that's going to happen with this group is we have another drawing to do. The drawing that we are going to do, it happens, I'm going to say Friday. So that's tomorrow. Wow. Okay. So tomorrow we have another drawing. How you can get your juicy, beautiful, gorgeous, worthy self into the drawing is inside of this group. There is a graphic around mainstream fame. And the way that you get your name in the drawing is to post that graphic to your stories, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. You can tag me personally on Facebook, so tag at Xtina Harmsworth. On Instagram, if you want to post it or put it in your stories or put it on your grid, you're going to tag at XMH Beauty Official. And that's how you get your name in the draw. Let people know what you like about this masterclass. Because like I said, the masterclass buzzword, it's a buzzword. Some masterclasses suck. And I want people to know that this one is next level. Okay. So the person who wins on tomorrow is getting the following. We have a prize draw for a $555 value. And that value is for Elite Turbo Glam. It's a 6-month membership into our beauty community. We have over 50 tutorials in that beauty community. There's a brand new full-length tutorial dropping every single month from now to the end of the year, so new content monthly. Every single month we do a product pop launch because my background is a celebrity makeup artist and I like new toys. I like new colors, I like new tools, I like new things to do my artistry with. And so every month we do a brand new pop launch inside of that community. And they typically sell out within the community. Like they almost don't even make it public anymore. So you get first access to our pop launches, 5% off site-wide for the duration of your membership, and these juicy items. The first thing is our Expert Series Makeup Artist brushes. These are worth $177. I'm obsessed with them. I have 2 sets of them. I use them every single day of my life. So this is one of the physical items that you will win. The second physical item that you will win is the Blender Babe. I know it looks like, oh, okay, it's a beauty sponge. No, just trust me. Trust a celebrity makeup artist. They are all different. The textures are different. The absorbability is different. The performance is different. The feeling in your hand is different. This is the one. And the third thing I'm so excited about, this is also coming up, coming in hot. Our brand newly packaged, reformulated, cannot wait to get it in your hands, XMH Beauty Contour Palette, plus all the videos so that you'll know exactly how to use it. What I'm not excited about is actually selling these to people without videos. Like it doesn't even light me up one iota to sell one of these on our website to someone who's not in our beauty community. It actually breaks my heart a little bit because I'm like, it's cool, but you want to know how to use it. You want the tutorials. You want the experience. Like, you want it. Just trust. So this contour palette, I love the new packaging. My husband and our team actually created this packaging. I'm in love. So this is the actual what you get. We flipped to being a paper packaging. We used to be plastic, and it's better for the environment to be paper. Plus the mirror can't break, which is amazing. I'm obsessed with that. So on the inside, these are the top 6 shades that I would take on set with me to style celebrities. And I had them reformulated and done all into one palette. Clean Beauty Seal approved. I'm fully obsessed with it. And there are videos that show you exactly how to use these to sculpt your face. I use this every day of my life. And one of our newest teammates came in this morning and she was like, slowly everything in my makeup bag is turning XMH, and I'm obsessed with this one because I can use it on my entire face. My mentor, Melanie, I'm obsessed with her. She also uses this on her entire face, and it's becoming just kind of more of a passion product for me because I'm like, okay, one palette for your whole face. Obsessed. Anywho's, that is what our winner is getting tomorrow. A $555 value subscription to our beauty community, over $250 in products shipped to you, and that is what you get if your name is the lucky win tomorrow. So now that you know what's happening with this group, feel free to share, feel free to tag, light me up, and tell the world what you like about today. And now it's time to get into the content, the actual masterclass. The past 3 days of masterclass have been approximately 60 to 90 minutes of full-blown content. Knowing that my intention is to remaster this into a paid program, you're going to get some beastful training today. It's going to be hot. This is a hybrid program. And what that means is it's the cross-section between my expertise as a celebrity makeup artist, a beauty expert, someone who helps to curate people's personal image, a visibility architect. And also, you're going to get the cross-section of me as a social media expert and a business consultant. I am both and. I'm a multi-dimensional mentor. And this week, you get the beautiful combination of both. So far in this program, we have talked about going from a skill to an art. We've covered emotional intelligence. We've covered a little bit about masculine and feminine energies. We've talked about frequency. We've talked about intentionally tapping into an actual energetic frequency with a little personal ritual in the morning. We've talked about setting an intention with your brand if you're someone who has a brand. And today, we're going to talk about the connection to wealth. It's going to be a little bit of a cross-section of beauty things, masculine and feminine energies and sales, and opening the portal to wealth intentionally. So if you're here for the wealthy vibes, please go ahead and give me lightning bolts in the comments. If you're brand new, I'm obsessed with the lightning bolt. It is my very favorite emoji of all, has been. It means it represents an energetic exchange to me. It represents that you guys are getting something huge. You are having a big light bulb moment. So anytime that you have an aha moment or a breakthrough or you just want to bring some energy into the conversation, throw me lightning bolts. I love opening up a training with a lot of lightning bolts. It makes me feel so happy that you're here. Also, comments are my currency. This is meant to be conversational. I do see all of your comments to the side. So I'm looking while I'm speaking. This means a lot to me when you guys participate. And I'm obsessed with getting emoji bombed. So if you just want to throw me a ton of hearts when I'm talking, if something hits, wow face, if something hits, throw them at me. So time to get in to the juiciness. If you're here for the wealthy vibes, put hashtag wealthy. Let's get into it. It's my Queen's Day today. Every week, I carve out time for myself. It didn't used to look like this. When my husband and I went into business together, we were living in Los Angeles. Hustle should have been my middle name. Working on average 16 to 18 hours a day. We had a really big dream around this cosmetics brand. Weren't totally certain how it was going to come about. And the mentorship that I had in my life had a lot of masculine energy. If you missed day one, I'm going to recap what I mean a little bit, but you definitely want to go back and watch day one. There is a full-blown scientific measurement. There's a scale that measures our human emotions. The scale goes from about 0 to 1,000. Some people don't even count anything underneath 30 because they feel like it's actually hell. Like it's so low vibration that some experts on the topic don't even count it. They say it's hell. It shouldn't be human. That's a whole different class. From 30 on this scale to just under 160 are the very disempowered feelings that you can have. We've all had these feelings at some point. Some people call them the sads. Some people call them depression. But the very, very lowest feelings that you can have, they are labeled inert, I-N-E-R-T. If anyone has a Webster's Dictionary app on your phone and you want to look up this word and put the definition in the comments for everyone, I would love it. I'm a nerd. I'm a word nerd. The word is inert, I-N-E-R-T. Does anyone know what that word means? Inert. It's almost like a feeling of you can't move. It's the feeling where you're so disappointed, sad, grieving, or something that it would feel better to put the sheets over your head and stay there. The sad feelings at the very bottom of this energetic frequency scale, these are the feelings where you have no desire to do anything. You don't want to work. You would like to sit on your couch. You would like to sleep in. It is almost like life seems like pointless. So a couple people put definitions. They said inert means stuck in one place. No forward momentum or movement. None. No movement, stuck in one place. These are the inert emotions. It's very common, and it's part of the human experience to feel things like this when you have an unexpected loss, somebody dies, you have a breakup. It's part of the human experience to have these emotions. And the key when you're this low on the frequency scale is that some emotions can't be fixed, they just have to be felt. Time helps. Feeling them helps. Moving them out of your body helps. Reaching out for help helps. They're called contracted feelings. They make you feel a little powerless. And we have a full-blown expert on the topic, Dr. Amber Yerke, in the building, and she's like, they're like inert gases. Inert gases, like in the laboratory, they're gases that don't even react with anything. If you can picture someone who is having inert emotions, and you set them side by side with someone like me, who's a lot more high frequency on the scale, they would not be able to react with me. I would seem unrelatable. Put the word unrelatable in the comments. Unrelatable. This word, unrelatable, is another one of those cruxes in our society right now. People who are living a very high vibrational existence can feel unrelatable. People who have a beautiful home and a beautiful life and treat themselves with devotion. $500 tchotchkes in their background. An hour of artistry in the morning can seem very unrelatable to a person whose emotional frequency is lower. Can you understand right now why, if you're a woman who loves luxury, you love art, you love high-end experiences, you love passion, you love adventure, you love money, you love accumulating amazing things in your human experience, how that can be really unrelatable for people who are having a hard time in life. Life is presenting them with much more evidence than they would prefer that life is hard and other people are lucky. Can you see? This has been the mind expanding experience for me of being someone who loves, stands for, and promotes luxury. Living in desire. Being walking art. Having a lifestyle of devotion. Like my life has devotion to beauty, to art, to intentionality. This groundbreaking expansion for me is a knowing that this will make people upset. If their frequency is low, and to have a low frequency is human. It's just that when you have a very low frequency at that season in your life, life has presented you with more evidence than you would prefer that life is hard. This is just the way things are. And people who have a good life must be lucky. Unfortunately, when you're in that mindset, there's another mental pathway that's created, and that mental pathway says, this is not attainable for you. When you hold the belief that people who have a high vibrational life are just lucky, it disconnects you from the possibility that it's attainable for you and that you should try, or that you should desire after it. This is why it used to really hurt my feelings when people, would make interesting comments in my inbox, and paint me a certain way. It used to really hurt me. And then I realized, you know what? You're mad at me because you don't know better. You don't know that a high frequency life is absolutely attainable for you. Wealth is absolutely available to you. A beautiful life, living art, it is 100% attainable for you. And the people who are mad at me, they're mad at me because they don't know better. But I'm not mad at them because I do know better. And as long as I stand in that truth, I can expand and be an expander for other people to rise to the occasion and lead themselves by the invitation of my life. My life as art is an invitation to people to believe for more, to step into desire, to fully self-express, to play. All the stuff on my face, this is play for me. I love to make it play for other people. So this energetic frequency scale can show us so much, and it can also breed compassion for us, for other people, instead of taking it personally when someone doesn't like you, or when you're very, very sure of your self-worth and you begin to treat yourself with devotion and someone else doesn't like it, it doesn't bother you so much anymore. Compassion floods in. You're like, okay, you can be mad. And that just lets me read your frequency. Mad is like about a 160 to a 190 on the scale. And there's 1,000 points to climb on the scale, to ascend to. So now that we understand the very low frequency on the scale and how it relates to us if we're choosing to live in luxury and we're choosing to actually live a life filled with desire and art and beauty and magnetism, I'm going to travel you up a little bit on the scale. Around 160 on the scale of emotional frequencies. This is a scientifically backed measurement of human emotions. Human emotions have a frequency. So at around a 160 is anger. People say, I don't know if you've ever watched like a Tony Robbins or other very motivational speakers. They say it's a good sign when you can get somebody mad. Because if they've been in these inert, low emotions for a long time, and you can make them mad, anger is where movement starts, action starts. Have you ever heard You need to get mad enough to do something about it. Raise your hands if you've heard this before. You have to get mad enough to do something about it. It has to bother you enough to do something about it. You have to jump out of apathy and the inability to move and get almost angry to be able to do something about it. So 160 to 190 are anger, and it also raises up to something that is called, how do I want to say it? It's like the pride of being right. It's not pride like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. It's the pride of being right. So can you put the word #religion if any of you are from a formerly like kind of religious background where people turned their nose down at certain behaviors in women? Put #religion, because we talked a lot in day 1 and I think day 2 about really how society and the negative side of masculine energy has kind of controlled and pushed down the magic that women have. So just over like the most horrible, just a little higher than the most horrible feelings that you can ever feel as a human is religion, the spirit of religion. Isn't that great? It's the pride of being right. It's superiority. It's the ability to turn your nose up at other people and say, look what she's doing. If you have people in your life who are doing that to you, I want you to understand that compassion may be in order, and really strong boundaries of not letting that be part of your world, not the condescending stuff. Because God and divinity, the divine, is at 1,000 on the scale. And the way that religion is being expressed in a condescending way, in a controlling way, in a dominating way, in a way of superiority and the pride of being superior, is a 190. It's a big gap between human behavior around the concept of God and God actually, divinity actually. We have one of my clients, Nadia, whose family is in ministry, is watching, and she's like, what? Yeah. The do-gooders of the religious sphere who are meddling in what everyone else is doing, and they just love talking about what everybody else is doing, and they just know that they're better than them. It's like, that's like a 190 on the scale. It's pretty low vibration. Just above that, think about what's that? Someone said there's a theme going for me today. What's the theme? My client Adrienne, she's in one of our really fun spaces called the Trove that I'm going to talk about today. Adrienne said religion is not with God. Wow, Cheryl, that's amazing. Cheryl said my pastor's been talking about this a lot lately. He's all about love, not religion. And where is love on the scale? If you remember day 1, love is like close to 700 on the scale. Love is very, very, very high on the scale, high frequency. It's a high frequency emotion. Yes. Okay. So about 160 to 450 are all of the masculine energies. There's a beautiful side to masculine energy, and masculine energy is not the enemy. Just like there's a beautiful side to faith, And there's a dark side depending on what frequency people are on. Isn't this so interesting? Masculine energy, in my opinion, is one of the superheroes of the planet. Masculine energy is it's the frequency that people are in when they create order, when they create structure, when they build things. This is masculine. Building something is masculine. Taking action is masculine. Having initiative is masculine. Creating routine and system, it's masculine. Masculine energies, they change the planet. Entire nations have been built on masculine drive. Some of the highest frequencies of masculine energy, they go up into like Einstein level, which is about a 450. 450 to 475 is Einstein level frequency. And it's creating structure with creativity. It's using logic and reason. So just because you hear something is masculine, that doesn't make it bad. Masculinity is not the enemy. And actually, as women, we do best when we have a clean balance between masculine and feminine energy in our lives. If you're all feminine and no masculine, it may be hard to get some things done. You may be wondering why you're not making a path towards the things that you desire. It's good to have both. So there's a dark side to masculinity, and the dark side is the angry side, the controlling side, manipulation. Manipulation lives in there. Controlling people, superiority, self-righteousness, condescending energy, and criticism. Criticism is a big one that lives in the lower range of masculinity. So the higher ranges of masculinity, I picture people who are amazing in the way that they sell, run their businesses, cooperate with their families, have routines, get things done. They're so reliable. They're trustworthy. They have integrity. If something needs done, they get it done. But they also have the ability to tap into the frequencies above that, which are art, beauty, creativity, and love. They don't do things just for themselves. Very low vibration masculine people, they literally are just out for themselves. Very competitive. They just want to slay. Like, they don't really care what happens to other people or who they have to step on to get to the top. And that's a very low maturity masculine energy. It's just immature. But the higher frequencies of masculine energy, I want you to think about who you know in your life who's like this. They are so trustworthy. They're reliable. They get things done. They have a great work ethic. They're also generous. They're also thoughtful. And they're not just doing it for them. It's possible to be a very high vibe, masculine dominated person. So in the comments right now, I want you to think about, who do you know who has that type of an energy? If you're so lucky, it might even be your partner. Maybe it's your dad. Maybe it's your grandpa. There might be a woman in your life who runs this way. Because there's a lot of women who are masculine dominant, but it doesn't mean that they have to be negative. The higher set of energy is what we call the feminine energies. And these start around 475. There's some crossover between a very high vibe masculine person and just there's a little like 25-point crossover that takes you up into the more feminine energies, the more high vibrational energies. The crossover happens at creativity. This is why we picture Einstein and he's tinkering. Have you seen pictures of Einstein? He's like he's got his tongue stuck out. His hair is crazy. Tinkering. Problem solving for creativity. Having fun with it. Being a little eccentric. Being outside the box. Break the rules a little bit. For exploration, for fun, to see what happens. 475. And right around 505, so just above that, 505 is my jam. 505 is beauty, creativity. This is where enjoyment starts. 505 opens the vortex to all the good things. 505 opens the vortex to love, ease. When I say ease, there's right above 505, there's actual power. Whereas when you're in your masculine, you have to work really hard to force things to happen. And then there's these like airy people who it's like, you're like, why does everything go great for them? Like, it feels like it's just so easy for them. Why is it like that? They have opened the vortex through beauty, play, imagination, creativity. Beauty. This is why I love to sit at my makeup table and do the beauty thing. They've opened a vortex to actual power. Power is different than force. When you're masculine led, you have a lot up here that tells you have to work hard. That working hard will bring results. A lot of the old religion philosophy tells people they have to work hard. Work in our current economy is also glorified, especially women working and being equal to a man. It's very glorified. Being busy is glorified. If you are a woman and you are currently aligned in here with the theory that being busy and producing a lot makes you worthy or is remarkable or is what gives you value or is glorified, it can be really challenging to see people who live in luxury. It can be easy to turn your nose up at them and say like, must be nice. They must be lucky. Or if you're a little sinister, you might say, who did they sleep with to make that happen? It's really easy to criticize luxury and sensuality and beauty when you don't understand what you're looking at. So right above masculine and right above the brilliance of Einstein is this little number 505. It opens the portal to the wealth, to divinity, your connection to a higher power. 505 opens the gate. Power, actual power, not masculine force, but actual power resides just above beauty. This is where you don't have to push so hard to make things happen. and things start magnetizing to you. This is where you don't have to push so hard to find leads in business, follow up endlessly, get louder, be more aggressive, shove your product down somebody's throat. You don't have to do that anymore. When you have gone through the beauty portal and up into power, connection, love. This is the thing that I believe in day 1 and day 2 I talked about. My mom has told me for over a decade now. She's like, when you walk through a room or walk down a street, people watch you. They are like magnetized and you don't even notice. I'm like, yeah, I had no idea. My husband says the same thing. Science backs this. A human operating at a frequency of 5 to 700, they are no longer really affected so much by other people's frequency. They actually are like a beacon that affects 700, 1,000 people at a time. The beauty portal is real. It's a gateway. Choosing to incorporate the arts into your life every day and choosing to make your surroundings beautiful, choosing to make yourself adorned, like you're adorning yourself. You're turning yourself into walking art. So not only like did you have the experience of painting, of creation, of imagination, of play, of looking at the different palettes and going like, I think the mood, the vibe today, the color I'm like intuitively drawn to, I'm feeling this palette, I'm feeling this lip, I'm feeling this intensity, I'm feeling this lightness, I'm feeling this freshness, I'm feeling this glow. Imagination, creativity, beauty, simply by the ritual of doing makeup artistry, you tap into a next level existence. So you do it for yourself first. The old school mentality, I call it the patriarchal sales model, the patriarchy, people at large that would love women to feel less than. They have sold women this lie that you need makeup. You need to look a certain way. You need to speak a certain way. You need to behave a certain way. And if you do, and you comply with all our rules, we'll pat you on your head like a good girl. And that makes me barf. When I do my makeup, this is not about a makeup palette to me. Yes, they're gorgeous. Yes, they're lovely. But this is why I couldn't speak on makeup from the framework of the low vibe masculine. And that is how makeup and beauty are often presented to the consumer culture. It's to make women feel not enough, so they have to buy. I cannot wait to get into that in a second. I do my makeup first for me. It's about artistry. It's about luxury. It's about an experience. It's the vibrational frequency of my emotions when I'm sitting at my makeup vanity. And yes, I believe everyone here deserves a makeup vanity. I believe that you deserve not a crappy, crusty bathroom counter to just, shove your makeup on, because it's another thing to do on your masculine-led checklist of life to make yourself good enough. No. You deserve your own makeup table. You deserve proper lighting. You deserve the feeling And I am an ambassador for the feeling of sitting at your vanity with the proper lighting and the proper tools and your favorite music, taking yourself into the frequency of imagination, creation, play, beauty, love, enjoyment, luxury, and opening your day with a high frequency experience. I believe in that. I want to bring that back. I don't love that beauty has been villainized in our culture. I don't love that it's been kind of painted as like evil or excessive, because there's a moment in time when, because one person looked beautiful, it had to mean that someone else was not, which is a fallacy. It's a low vibrational feeling of emotion. It's a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief to see someone that has a beautiful home and to say, well, because you have that, it means I can't. It's actually a limiting belief. A better belief is that the fact that I can see someone else has this is evidence to me that I can also have it. What if instead of seeing other people who have gorgeous, amazing things, beauty, wealth, the partner of their dreams, a beautiful $64 candle in their background, what if we instead of making it mean that must mean she's got it all and I can't have it, or some other weird mindset, what if we shifted the belief structure to say, the fact that I can see this other person has it, that's evidence for me that I can also have it, that it's attainable. This is where curiosity gets turned on and people start asking questions instead of making a judgment. The pathway out of being judgmental is curiosity. If I can see that someone has the thing that I want, and instead of judgment, I can replace it with a curious question of, how did that happen? And maybe even if you got your lady balls together and asked the person, like, how did you do that? We would be a lot wealthier of a set of women, a lot happier of a set of women, a lot more empowered in our minds and souls and spirits as women. Yeah, lady balls. This is partially the idea behind Confidence on Command and Elite Turbo Glam, the makeup artistry programs that are available for our clients. It's instead of judging the person who you're like, wow, must be nice, or I can't have that, or you're just good at that and I can't do that. Instead, what if you replace that with a curiosity of, how do you do that? What if you decide to acquire the skill? This is the beautiful thing about going from skill to art, is that, like with anything, you have to learn to do it first. It's a skill. It's like brushing your teeth. At first, it's kind of challenging. And then after you've done it a few times, it's easy. You get better at it. Stop getting toothpaste everywhere. And then after some time, you're almost artful with it. You could have like a full-blown conversation while you're brushing your teeth, and you can spit elegantly. It's crazy. It becomes second nature and intuitive. And makeup is the same. At first, it seems like, oh my gosh, like, what are all these brushes? How many do I need? What is each one for? How do I pick my colors? Like, how do I know what to do? I get lost in the steps. And then 30 days in, which that's an average, we've helped hundreds of clients completely transform the way that they look and they feel. About 30 days in, it's like, oh, this is second nature. And now if I know how to do it with this color, I can do it with a whole completely different color palette. If I know how to execute this with this lip, I can do it with a more vibrant lip. Becomes play. Becomes 505. The frequency of 505 opens a portal. So the thing that I wanted to talk about with masculine, the old paradigm of masculine sales, and this is why I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the way that things transpired in the last year. Full disclosure, my husband and I have had this cosmetic company, and some of our influencers are watching live, and I freaking love that. I love having you here so you guys know what's going on. My husband and I, we launched a makeup company when we lived in Los Angeles. And I was working as a celebrity makeup artist. I had 75 celebrity clients. Sorry, thirsty just hit me. I'm like so pregnant. I'm very thirsty. Anyways, we launched this line, right? And we've done over $1 million in sales organically. It's been super fun. Learned a lot. Learned a lot of ways I don't like to sell. Learned some ways I love to sell. Learned a lot of things I would never do again for a client. Learned a lot of ways that I can absolutely empower a woman to be self-led and be masterful in her confidence and her beauty. And so we're going with that. I like the latter a little bit better. Last year when everything happened in our country and things like stopped. Some manufacturing stopped, some plants stopped, some shipping stopped. Like if you even notice like food and toilet paper, some things were harder to get, right? So with our North American manufacturer, they were like, listen, we cannot get the raw pigments to create your top selling, everyone needs this piece to your collection. So we've had over 200 successful product launches, and this baby right here, this is like the universal, everyone has to have it. Literally, this is the basis of our artistic sculpting of a face. This is the piece. And last year, things came to a halt. Our manufacturer was like, we can't get your pigments. We're having a hard time. We're going to have a 3-month delay. And I'm like, a 3-month delay? What do you mean? And the 3-month delays of 2020 turned into, in December, they emailed me and said, 3 out of 6 of your colors, we cannot create for you anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? 3 out of 6 of my colors you cannot make anymore. If anyone is watching live and you have this palette and you know the genius of this palette, it's a universal thing. Like every single client starts with this. It's the thing. It's the 6 colors to completely like craft your face. I was like, what do you mean? So it actually created almost like a feeling last year in April. So over a year ago, it was this feeling of, okay, I didn't like the way that I had been trained to sell things. That's number one. I didn't feel safe talking about our beauty line because we had enough stock and we could work within these like delayed timelines. I knew we could work with it to service the number of clients that we had. We had like about 500 people in our membership at that time. And I was like, we have enough stock, and I know we can work with this timeline and like continue to service the current client base that we have without a whole lot of frustration. But like, I can't imagine adding 500 more. Like, we would be talking about products to people that may or may not be available in a month. And I was like, that is terrifying. Like, the level of stress that's there for me of like creating an urgent need for someone, for something, for a product, and then having the client be like, I can't get it on the site. Like, I was like, oh my God, I can't. So everyone write creating an urgent need. Can you put that in the comments? If you're watching live right now, write the words creating an urgent need, because that is the way that I was taught how to market. For 4 or 5 years straight, and one of my friends and previous clients, Caroline, is watching right now. She said, you've evolved so much. It's beautiful. Like, I came from a place of selling to the general populace through creating an urgent need, through the old school paradigm of selling that we talked about in day 1 and day 2. Pointing out where things were not up to par, making people feel energy level 125-ish, reminding them of their faults, and then making myself the solution. This is the way that marketing at large has worked for a few decades. And thankfully, people are waking up and they're not using this way of marketing so much anymore. There's a whole shift in the sales process. People aren't resonating with that yucky feeling anymore. They love having luxury options to buy from, and they like buying out of desire instead of need. So about spring last year, I was like, I cannot continue to sell like this, number one, because it doesn't resonate with me. I don't like being manipulated into buying things this way. That's A. And B, what happens if I create an urgent need for all these cosmetics and then all these people they're in a very low frequency place? Like, a 125 is a very disempowered place, and you've got them down and disempowered and like needing you and like feeling lack and like, oh my God, I have to have this, otherwise I'm ugly. Oh my God, I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that mindset. But then they're in the super low frequency, and then they go to your website and they can't get what they think they need in order to be like, have a good life. You have a really problematic person on your hand at that point, and you created it. Making people feel disempowered so they will buy from you, and then not being able to fulfill on what you sold them, you will have a monster in your inbox. And I began to recognize this, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to flip gears. So I have taken about the last year of my life, and instead of doing all of the makeup things, we maintained a lot of our client base, and I flipped into consulting full time. And I studied with probably 12 different mentors. I spent about $47,000 just last year working with some of the experts in the industry around energetics, the sales process, funnels, marketing, copywriting, organic launches, and I learned a different way of being. It was phenomenal. I took that information and I started mentoring other women in business who didn't resonate with like the old school way of selling anymore. My cousin Katie and I have had amazing masterminds with other women building business, and it has been so enlightening and so fun. And that's where the bulk of my time went, into the mastermind, into the trove, which I'm going to tell you about at the very end if you're interested in it. I learned a different way of thinking about people, a different way of presenting offers like makeup, like coaching, like physical products. And in learning that, I was like, how can I possibly talk about makeup palettes anymore? Not from this place of creating an urgent need. Follow me. This, I hope, sends light bulbs over your head, lightning bolts of electricity through your body of understanding. And I hope that this statement changes your life. Are you ready? When you buy from a place of need, you invite more lack into your existence. When you are so convinced that a product or a person or a service is the one thing between you and being your best life, the need for that item actually creates lack in you and in your life. Buying from a place of needing something makes you like a little lack monster. This is the endless cycle of the consumer culture. Consumer culture teaches people, if you don't have this item, you are hot garbage. You need us. We're the experts. You need us. Keep on buying it. Yeah, lack monster. Do you know how people act when they can't get their favorite thing? They're little lack monsters. I'm having a very cool experience right now where I paid like $10,000 to be, it's $10,000 a month to be in a high level business mastermind. And this is just the level that I play on because I'm going after $1 million years. And this is the level I want to play on out of desire. And my coach had an accident and she has not been able to communicate with us for a week. And I think if she was not someone who attracted people who were buying in their power, they buy from desire. They buy from a dreamy feeling of expansion. They buy from a very high frequency of trust, of faith, of fun, of possibility, of excitement, of love. We buy from such a different place. I think if she had a lot of people that had bought her coaching because they needed it and they felt needy, I think her entire life would have imploded in this last week because nobody could speak to her. She can't look at her phone. But instead, the way that she has presented the opportunity to work with her on this level is so beautiful and so expanded and so next level. Like none of us bought her stuff for the beautiful price of $10,000 a month. None of us bought it because we needed it. We bought it because we desired next level expansion. We bought it out of excitement. We bought it out of dreamy possibility. We bought it out of the experience. We bought it out of a desire of like, God, what would it be like to have that next level genius and creativity and beauty and support in our worlds while we are leaving ourselves? when you buy from lack and need, you create more lack and need in your life. When you're so convinced that something, some product, some person will be your personal savior, and it's up to them to fix it for you. But this is the old school sales paradigm, and this is how repeat business happens. I can no longer sell this way. But if we want to talk about wealth, if we want to talk about luxury, if we want to talk about art and beauty and expansion and connection to divinity, if we want to talk about living and being and walking and moving in a way that is art and beauty, they literally cross the language barrier. I can be in another country and I have the same effect when I walk through a room. Every country I've ever been to, same effect. Crosses time, it crosses gender, it crosses location, it crosses the language barrier, it crosses political BS. People are moved by art. People are shifted by beauty. Beauty is so healing. Beauty brings the frequency up. When people are very, very, very sad in those very low frequencies, I'm like, please just stand underneath the shower and let water hit you and feel that feeling, and then go outside for a walk and look at trees. Beauty can shift your frequency. Beauty shifts your frequency. And when you adorn yourself with this devoted feeling, this high frequency feeling, and then you walk around like that, you become the shifter. That I can talk about, because that's not about telling a woman, you need these because you ugly. No, no, you don't. I don't wear makeup every day. There's days when my elegant experience is skincare and mascara. I don't need to prove anything. I'm not proving anything to anyone. I'm not in this masculine proving energy. My makeup is not a check on my to-do list. It's not as simple as a beauty routine. It's next level devotion. It's ascension on the frequency scale. It's intentionality. It's living art. People who purchase our Elite Turbo Glam membership, I don't want them to buy it because they need it. Because they think that if they don't do it, something's wrong. And that's the way, the very basic, low-level, materialistic, low vibrational frequency that makeup is sold on a lot of the time. You need this because you ugly. I'm like, no, they're not. But do you desire it? Because it's beautiful? Do you desire it because you want to feel what it's like to go from a skill to an art, from art to mastery, and from mastery to intentionality, and intentionality to wealth? Wealth is a byproduct of beauty. It's the next thing up the scale. that's something I can talk about when it comes to this. When it comes to the intentionality of how you start your day. When it comes to the intentionality of learning how to use all these different play tools. When you consider makeup as a creative portal to higher frequencies. When you consider yourself a walking piece of art, not a thing to be fixed because there's something wrong with you. No, there's not. But are you worthy of the luxury? Do you want to tap into the feeling of being worthy of luxury? Do you want to intentionally open the vortex to the next things that are higher? Above being masculine, above grind and drive and routine and boredom and proving energy, above religion, and decide to go to art, creativity, imagination, beauty, love, power. That I can get behind. That I can invite people to experience. I'll give you one more piece to the marketing sequence that is really important for you to understand. The way that you enter a financial transaction and a relationship transaction is often the way that you exit it. Unless something dramatic happens to shift you, this is the vibe. This is the vibration. When you buy something because someone made you feel 125 on the frequency scale, you felt unfulfilled, you felt lack, you felt needy, you felt unworthy, you felt not good enough, you felt unfulfilled desire, and that you must have it in order to be enough. When you purchase items this way, and when you even start relationships this way, you will have the same feeling when you exit. This is why I've been mentoring women in the art of sales, and the art of selling online. If you're gonna make money, if you're gonna accrue massive amounts of wealth, you want people to feel amazing coming in and amazing going out. You want them buying out of possibility, desire, love, expansion, faith, trust, very high frequency emotions, not because they need something. If this whole thing interests you, like learning how to sell, I'll talk about that in a minute. But the makeup piece, we have something so fun coming up. Right now in the guide section inside of this group, there's an offer for a program. It is called Elite Turbo Glam. This is an investment of $555. This is 6 months of access. So now to the end of the year. Technically, doors open on July 1st. My baby's kicking me. I can feel her little leg. Hi, baby. I love that. Anyways, July 1st through the end of the year, I'm going to be putting brand new content in there every single month, but it's already chock full of like 50 something tutorials that walk you through makeup artistry as an art form. Every single product that we have in our arsenal, we teach you how to use it. Frankly, I'm not really excited when people just go to our website and buy, a random thing. I'm like, you missed out. I would much rather work with you. I would much rather you know exactly what you're doing and never be frustrated. Like, I would much rather this become a luxury experience for you. I would much rather this be an intentional art form for you. I would much rather that you didn't buy. If you're just going to buy an eyeshadow to buy an eyeshadow, you could do that anywhere. Like, we want you to have the experience. So Elite Turbo Glam, it is a private community on Facebook. We have about 50 something, maybe 60 tutorials already in there. Every month a new one drops. We have 2 in editing right now, which is really, really fun. And this week, when you pick it up for $555, your investment is $555, you get this, and this to start your makeup journey with us. And if you're a returning client and you already have some of these, let me just say, I have 6 of these in my drawer. I have 2 sets of these on my vanity. And this is the new packaging. And you might just want a fresh one. So, returning clients, 100% welcome. $555 is the price for it. The reason that you would want to do it right now is shipping time. We would love to ship this today or tomorrow or Monday if you wait. But our next 30-day experience, where we actually drop a video for you every day and you have a community to tap into and actually like interaction and support, our next 30-day experience inside of that container starts on July 5th. So when you pick it up now, we can ship it to you today. We can ship it to you tomorrow. If you buy over the weekend, we can ship it to you Monday. Even if you're international, we do ship internationally. There might be a slight delay on it, but we use FedEx and we ship international to like 13 different countries. This would be an opportunity for you to get all of your stuff in time to come and have the online experience with us, the 30-day experience. So that's the first thing that I would love to invite you to. Not because you need it, not because you're unworthy if you don't, but if you want to experience artistry from a place of desire and expansion and opening the portal, the way Hollywood icons did for years, I would love, love, love to have you there. You'll keep access for 6 months, and we'll have a whole lot more for you. That's one place I'm going to stay active, even with my baby coming. Second thing I want you to know about is if you are someone who is marketing online, if you're in video content creation of any sort, I want you to thoughtfully consider doing what's called Confidence on Command. It's the mastery level program for makeup artistry. It takes 2 days. I wish I could play it live, but you might not, or you might know who it is. Someone just messaged me today, and she just did Confidence on Command. And she was like, I feel like she was cussing in the best way possible. She's like, I feel like a goddess. I feel like she was just raving. She's like, I cannot believe how good I feel. Like, this is such a different experience of doing my makeup the Confidence on Command way. She said, I had you with me in my bathroom. I was pressing pause on the program. I was doing the makeup. I recorded a bunch of content last night. She's like, I feel like a goddess. I feel so next level. I feel like the shit. I was like, oh my God. She was like, I need to write you a testimonial. I'm like, okay. Something like 80 people now have gone through Confidence on Command. It's a 2-day intensive that I talked about yesterday and the day before. If you are in any type of sales whatsoever, if you are online and you have a desire for mainstream fame, 100% that would be the package that I would get. It includes the 2-day intensive. It's a digital program that you can watch like over and over again, practice in your bathroom. I tell our clients to do it 10 times. I'm like, learn it and then practice it for 10 days straight, lock it in, and then it just becomes mastery. Like you don't even have to think about it anymore. You can pick up any palette for the rest of your life and you'll know what to do. It's so fun. So the Confidence on Command program, that's available right now. I believe it's $1,777 until Monday. But that particular program, it includes $500 worth of makeup. So you have a lot of the things that you need to get started, which is super fun. Our team will be with you in the inbox, supporting you, helping you to know how to shop and what to buy, getting you color match, for the proper color of foundation, all that fun stuff. And with that, you also get the 6-month access to our beauty community. It's a full package. So you have a $555 option if you're like just dipping your toes in out of desire and curiosity. There's a $1,777 option for someone who you want to be mainstream famous. You have an intentionality behind your brand. You are going after the luxury brand. You are going after high ticket sales. You are going after being a magnet for influence in business. That is the correct program for you. We have something called the Intentional Influencer. I talked about that yesterday, and that's the whole Confidence on Command program, plus a month of support from me. Which means for the next 30 days, you have the opportunity to book 2 intensives. They're one-to-one appointments where we can talk about anything that comes up for you around your visibility, your image, your branding, the thing you're trying to launch, getting eyes on it in the marketplace. Because like I said, this is a hybrid program. It's a cross section between me as someone who's a visibility architect and a makeup artist and a social media expert on the organic side. I love helping people make money and launch their ideas. I love it. And so if that's something that you really want to hone in on, that would be perfect for you. That particular offer is $4,444, and I only have 5 spots left. We had a little busy inbox last night. The final thing that I want to drop for you today, this is for people who are business builders. My cousin Katie Elliott, she's also a coach. I'm more of a consultant. She's more of a coach. Katie and I have a space open. It's called the Trove. We only have 7 spots available between now and the end of the year to take on more people who want to be mentored in business. If the way that I described the sales process to you today intrigued you, if the way that I've talked about energetics behind sales today and yesterday and the day before intrigued you, if you have in mind to be a mainstream famous household name, next level intentional brand, but you need all the technical pieces and the support to do it, I would highly consider the Trove to you. The Trove is a 6-month membership. The investment is $12,222. It's all of Coach Katie and I's content library, where we teach on copywriting, use of social media, things like creating Instagram stories, one of my favorite places to sell, creating live video content, getting the lights, camera, action right, how to take an idea or a product and turn it into a business, launching your intellectual property, becoming a coach or a consultant. You have the option to actually get certified as a coach during that time frame with us. So if you're someone who has been dabbling with online sales and maybe hasn't quite made it yet, you don't like the way that you're learning, or you just want to build something out now so that you can launch it, but you want to be mentored in the process, that would be my highest recommendation to you. As I say, we only have 7 spaces left, and our intent is to fill that in the next month. So if that piques your interest, please put the word trove in the comments so that my team knows to follow up with you. With the Trove, you also have access to both Katie and myself 2 times a month. We do a VIP experience where we're on Zoom and we actually mentor and laser coach our clients. So you have access to all of our programs, and also twice a month you have access to us so that we can help you to hone in and actually create what you want to create. So I understand that that's not for everyone. And again, if it's a desire of yours and it piques your interest and something in you is like leaning forward and going like, I feel something about any of those offers, I would just say honor that. All of these things are time sensitive. The bonuses are time sensitive. This group closes out on Monday. But I would ask you today to start leaning into your desire when you make purchases. Lean into who makes you feel empowered when you make purchases. I hope that for the rest of your life, you can detect when you're being manipulated. I hope that for the rest of your life, you can detect when people are trying to remind you of your inadequacies or making themselves your solution. I hope that in your romantic partnerships, you can definitely sniff that out now. And I genuinely hope that today's training empowers you in business and in your personal life with compassion, with understanding, and with a desire to live on a higher frequency. And I truly hope that artistry and our brand gets to be part of that with you. So thank you for being here for day number 4. I'm so happy to have you. Tomorrow we have a drawing. If you want to share the graphic, tell people what you loved about this program, invite some friends, and I'm excited to see whose stuff gets shipped in the next 24 hours. All right, love you guys. Have an amazing day. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, okay.